All right, let's get into it. So I'm going to give you the end first so you know where this is going. I'm coming up on a 1 year milestone of being profitable trading prop firms exclusively. And that's a huge milestone for me, but it wasn't always like that all throughout. I started trading back in 2004, 2005, somewhere around there. I can't remember the exact date, but I do remember back then I was a teacher actually teaching middle school science. And at the time, I was in my early 20s. And I remember trying to trade back then, racing to my computer while having a classroom, executing trades in the forex market and losing money. I was obsessed with trading and I wanted to figure it out. We all get into trading for financial freedom, or at least that's our hopes, right? Well, I've been fighting this battle for a very long time, probably longer than most people can endure, to be quite honest with you. And I started my journey looking for ways to earn an extra income. And that led me to my online search. And that's where I initially got into trading. But somewhere along the lines in there, I got involved in affiliate marketing or generating leads for businesses that would pay me per lead. And in that process, that ended up blowing up when I started my first business in affiliate marketing. And then I was able to leave my teaching career behind. I never lost the passion for trading all throughout that process. I was making great money. And of course, business had its ups and downs. And eventually I stopped doing that. But I always came back to trading throughout that process. And every time I came back to trading, I just kept losing money. I'd throw 1,000 here, 3,000 there, 5,000 there, and I would just keep losing and losing. And then I would always gravitate back towards my business to make up those losses. So as time progressed, the internet evolved, prop firms became a thing, and I started to get really serious about trading right around 2017. All of a sudden, we had all these courses available. There were different rooms, and back then they were done in Slack or over Telegram or some other platform. Now they're mainly done in Discord. So I joined one of these programs and I went to the training, and to be quite honest, it was really good. It's still around today and it's still one of my favorite programs here, and I learned a lot from it. The mistake I made there, however, when I joined this program, I thought I was ready. I had my affiliate marketing business was going really well. I was generating leads. I had clients and I was making awesome money, and I thought I was ready. So I said to myself, you know what? I'm going to give this a strong push, and I think I'm ready. At the time, I had a mentor or a coach, and I remember getting on the call with that coach, and he said, Tim, don't do it. Do not do what you're about to do. And what I was about to do was put in about $65,000 or $75,000 of real money into forex or into my forex brokerage account, and I did it. And I thought I was ready. I thought I was ready. I thought to myself, I'm going to go to the next level. I got trading down. I'm going to scale up and everything's going to be great. Well, guess what happened? I burned that account down to about $30,000. And then I just screamed uncle. I remember just trying to save it and just make any amount of money I possibly could. Now, thankfully, I was making great money with my business, so that loss to me wasn't substantial. So that loss to me wasn't a make it or break it. It was still a lot of money for me to lose the time, and it hurt, and it stings to this day. So right then and there, I felt completely defeated. I took out my money from that broker, and I was thinking to myself, I should have listened to my mentor where he said just to put in $10,000 in a trading account and scale up from there. So I was withdrawing my funds, licking my wounds, and I didn't know what to do. And right about then, that's when prop firms really started to become a thing. So I'm working my day job. I'm no longer doing the affiliate business. That kind of died out, and I'm just continuing my day job. And I have to travel back and forth to New York City quite often. And in that process, I said, you know what? I started my journey online because I wanted to get into trading. Let me just dabble in the market again and see what can come of it. So here I go again. I'm going back at forex to start there because that was the thing back in the late 2000 teens. And I funded an account with $5,000. And I remember walking in New York City, and I just took some random trade, and I was up there alone. So I was going to a restaurant to eat, of all things to eat by myself, because I love eating out and trying different foods. Um, I remember calling my wife, and on that walk back, some news came out, and that $5,000 account jumped from like $5,000 to $9,000, literally in the time it took me to walk from the restaurant back to my hotel. And I was ecstatic. I thought like, okay, I can make this work. I can do it. Well, guess what happened again? I blew that account up too. And mind you, this wasn't prop firms. This was my own capital that I was blowing up accounts. So from that point there, prop firms became a thing, as I mentioned, and that's when a couple of them started popping up. And I remember talking to my trading buddy who was very well off, and he was an awesome trader. I could just never figure out how the guy did it. He would print money like a machine. And that's how trading is. Every trader is unique. You could literally just follow their system and strategy, but you can get complete different results. Anyhow, I said, hey, I'm going to join this prop firm. He was like, oh, it's, those prop firms, they're not going to last. They're not going to be around forever. And so I joined anyway because it was a low barrier to entry. And at the time, back then when people were doing forex prop firms, they were like $500, $1,000 for a sizable account. And I went through multiple accounts there. I tried everything I could possibly think of. I'm using all the skills I learned from the initial course I bought, and I'm just trying everything. I'm burning accounts. I'm getting 50K accounts. I'm getting 150K, simulated funded accounts, and I just keep burning them over and over. So I do this literally from about 2017 all the way up to about 2023, 2024. And in that process there was that whole switch from prop firms in the US going from forex over to futures. And in that process, I learned a lot about myself as a trader. I researched everything you can possibly think of online. I bought more courses. I looked at different YouTube videos. I really started developing my own skills in trading, really refining them so that they fit me. They fit my personality, my style. They fit around my schedule. I have 5 kids. I still had a day job. I couldn't just sit here and trade all the time. And while I had all these skills and all these great systems, and I knew about levels, I knew about liquidity draws and every possible term you could think of, I was still losing money and still blowing up accounts. And then I figured it out. It wasn't ever the strategy that I was trading. It wasn't ever the system or my knowledge. It was me. It was my mental side, okay? The psychology behind trading. I can't tell you how many times I have gotten an account to near a payout, and then I force a trade, and then I end up losing the entire freaking account, only to find out the next day I regroup and get everything together again, and then I end up making that $200 or $300 I needed that would have been a payout. I've done this over probably at least 10 times over the course of 4 or 5 years when I got really serious about trading again. So I understand the struggle and what it's like to go out and spend money in these prop firms and keep failing and then keep testing systems. But it was this continuous battle with myself. And it doesn't happen as often today, but it happens from time to time. There's still that gremlin deep inside of me where it's like somebody just spilled some water on me after midnight, and then I turn into this raging gremlin who just doesn't give a crap about anything. And then I go on this tear where I'm going to be right on this trade because I know I'm right, and if I'm not right, I'm just going to dollar cost average in. I'm going to keep buying in when the market's going to all-time highs, or selling when the market's going to all-time highs, and it just keeps going up and up and up. And I just keep adding in until my account blows, and then I'm sitting here upset, right? And then again, the next day comes and I'm ready for, my trading day. I've regrouped again, and I made that extra $100, a couple $100 needed for that payout. So while I'm going through all this, of course, my friends and family don't believe that trading can work. My wife, of course, didn't believe that it could work. She was very against it, to be quite honest with you. She would say things like, oh, you're spending too much time looking at charts. You're spending too much time looking at your computer. You're putting too much effort into this. And I'm putting all that effort into it because I knew deep down inside that this could potentially work for me. And it's something that I started out back in 2004, and I put all this time into it, and I'm not about ready to throw in the towel. Now, when I say that, I don't want to sit here and say that I was completely reckless and I would go and just keep buying accounts and put myself in a bad position. I was always buying these accounts within my means, right? I wasn't using my mortgage payment or my rent to go out and buy accounts, for example. I was always buying them well within my means of what I could afford to lose, being responsible. So then I really started developing my own strategies and systems probably around 2023. And that's when things started to really change for me. I could see that my systems were working. I knew exactly when I was going to take a trade, but I still couldn't follow them. I couldn't follow my plan because I had that mental block and I was always trading from a place from need. And let me say this, trading from a place from need is a very bad place to trade from, because if I'm trading from a place from need, then I need this money to pay my bills. I need this money to close the gap what my day job can't pay to pay the extra bills. And I have found that when I'm able to remove that element of trading from a place from need, then I'm a much better trader. I'm much more focused. I don't care about the outcome. All I care about is the process. Meanwhile, I started this YouTube channel that you're currently watching here, and I figured, hey, I'm going to get on and I'm going to share I'm going to get on and just share my trading journey and see what happens. So here I am now. It's 2025, and I'm finally coming up on a milestone after all these pitfalls over the course of years. And I'm coming up on almost 1 full year of being profitable. Now, I want to be very clear there. Basically, all that means is that I have spent X amount of dollars on prop firm challenges, and I've received back more than I put in. So that to me has given me a net profit since September of last year. Now, I'm still not quite at the level where I'm running, 20, 30 prop firm accounts and getting massive payouts, but I'm getting decent payouts and I've been very consistent over that course of time. And it wasn't always about, hey, I'm getting all of these payouts, I'm getting this large payout. I wanted to do it over and over, month after month, because I know that's, or at least for me, that's what it takes to succeed in trading. Something has to be repeatable for me, and I have to be able to rely on my system. So I'm here to say that trading took me a long time to grasp and finally get a hold of, but I never gave up on it. And here it is again, 2025. I feel confident in my trading now, and I'm taking a couple of trades per day. Sometimes I have to go in and out of the market multiple times, but it's on one trade idea, and things seem to be turning around. Now, will this continue in the future? You know what? Nobody really knows, to be quite honest with you. Traders do go through winning streaks and they do go through losing streaks. So right now, maybe I'm just on a really long winning streak and it's coming up on 1 year, but I do feel like I've grown as a trader and I'm ready to go to the next level. And I certainly hope everything continues progressing forward for me. So that's my story. I'm ready for tomorrow's open. Let's go. Thanks for watching.